Hey, good morning, everyone. Glenn Kellaway coming to you from the basement. So the other day, I uploaded a video discussing the revolver release coming up shortly, and everyone's excited. The video has gotten a lot of attention, ton of comments. It's been fantastic. I love it. Um, One of the, I guess more than one, you can tell that people, and even reading the Hoffman forums, comments and threads, um, that vinyl set, regardless of the price of $305 Canadian, 200 and some dollars US, is really on everybody's hit list because of the mono revolver that's included. Anybody who didn't get a chance to get the mono set missed out and are anxious to get this. That's the only fear I have in sitting back and waiting, is that that particular package is going to sell out because of that album's inclusion. So today I thought I'd revisit the mono Beatles box set. Oh, it's heavy, man. Beautiful set. So, this came about after the release in 2009 of the mono CD set, and then the stereo CD set. Then they did a stereo vinyl set cut from digital sources. People, as much as everybody loved it, it was a love-hate thing because people didn't like the sound quality of it. Some people did. I personally had no problem with it. Some people had problems with some of their pressings and weren't happy that it isn't an analog set, but it is what it is. I enjoy it. I have it. I listen to it all the time. No complaints. But with the mono set, they decided to go back to the original master tapes and cut directly from analog. They're all analog recordings. Audiophile's dream. This is like the dream set of Beatle recordings, as close as you're going to get to owning an original mono pressing from the 60s. You're not going to get any closer unless you can afford some mint copies, and I have no idea what the price would be on these. So the recording engineer for the project was Sean McGee, and they took an original mono vinyl, studied it, listened to it, and then pulled out all the master tapes that were associated with that particular record, read all the, because back in the day they would make notes on how they set the tape heads and how they transferred and whatever else. They studied these notes and replicated it as close as you're going to get to 100%. Once that even amounted to, because supposedly the positioning of the tape head really has a significant influence on how the recording comes out. So they had to manipulate the tape head, and just hours and hours and days of just real fine tuning. So once they had done all that and cut an album, they took the albums before release to the public, I guess before they mass produced them, and they set up a home audio system. They didn't just go back to the studio and use whatever studio playback equipment's there for normal releases. They put together a Macintosh stereo system worth, I'm told, $84,000. So none of us, I'm sure, have an $84,000 stereo system. Anyway, that's the way they listened to this for the first time, to go, yeah, this is it. We did it. They released it in September of 2014. My recollection is it was around $300 to $350 for the set. I think I paid $330 for mine, if I remember correctly, somewhere around there. There were lots of sets available at the time. I guess the assumption is they would always be around like everything else. You don't know how many. Maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if they announced how big the run was on these sets. I don't recall that being an issue, that if you didn't get it right away, you weren't going to be able to get it. And even for, I believe, for a year or two, you could go to the store and pick it up at a pretty good price. And some stores were discounting them to get rid of them. Like, I bet you they were under $300 at some point. But anyway, they pressed these at a record plant called Optimal in Germany. High-end plant, well-respected. So they went to the best place to have the records pressed. 180 gram vinyl and flat. Amazing. So let's take a look at the records. And they do sound incredible. They just do. Comes with a 108-page hardcover book. It's the Beatles at Night. Beatles in mono. It's a great publicity shot, classic shot. So you just get a lot of archival photos. Then you get pictures of all the master tapes and the albums. A lot of pictures of posters and press clippings and advertisements. There's the Beatles at the Cavern. Great, great shot. Oh yeah, here we go. Love that. There's With the Beatles. So as you can see, they just go right through. Now, this set includes everything that was released in mono. So the only thing missing is Let It Be and Abbey Road, which are only released in stereo. So let's start. The beauty is the covers. They're all fold-back covers. They're glossy. The labels on the vinyl itself, I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. So here's, let's just go through them all. And that kind of, if you're used to North American heavy covers, these are kind of those European covers. I don't know how to describe them. They're just a bit flimsier than what we're used to here growing up. Ours are more cardboardy. Look at, I mean, just, you can see how detailed it is. Absolutely incredible. Like I said, it's you are not going to get closer to the feeling of owning one of these records when they were released. And now I should actually change these things to a MoFi sleeve, but I haven't. It does come in a sleeve with some kind of foil. Look at that. Oh man, I'm telling you. Look at that label, the Parlophone label. Isn't that beautiful? Just gorgeous. The vinyl is so flat and just, I mean, it's perfection. That's why nowadays we're looking at upwards of $3,000 for an unopened set, if you can find one. I could tell you my sad story while I'm looking at this. There's With the Beatles. Again, you can see the gloss on the cover. How beautiful It is the front's very glossy and the back is flat. You can see the fold back, original fold back design on the cover. This is my favorite label, the gold one, or yellow, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is, I think I'm going to be playing this today. Getting myself all excited here. So I had both stereo and mono box sets, and back 8 years ago, I guess, 7 years ago, I decided to, my wife and I decided to downsize and move into a condominium. So I was losing my music room. I had like a couple thousand CDs, and I did about a ton of records, like 600 maybe, but I had a great collection, a lot of Mo-Fis, and I had a lot of Beatles, like some original parlophones and stuff, and the Beatles box sets, the stereo and the mono. Decided I'm going to have the smallest music room, listening room. I just don't have room for vinyl, so I sold my turntable. I sold off all my vinyl. Dumbest thing I ever did in my life. And so then, after a year in the condo, we decided, we found this townhouse that we really loved, and we sold the condo, bought a townhouse. I get an amazing music room back again. I got no turntable, got no records. A record store was having a contest. They were trying to raise money for, I believe it was for Christmas gifts for kids, something like that. And I forget how you had to enter your name by, I don't forget, it was just buying albums or whatever, and you got your name in. Anyway, I win a turntable in the contest. I got no records. So I buy like a half a dozen records, and then I got the vinyl bug again, and start buying records again. So then I had to have those Beatles vinyl sets back again. Amazon, for some reason, found a bunch of the stereo box sets and put them out on sale for like $300. So, which is what I paid for it originally. So I bought the stereo box set, happy as hell, and it sold out really quickly. I don't know where they found these boxes and why they cleared them out, but they did. Then I'm going, how do I get a mono set? And I started looking around. There's a website in Canada, great website, Canuck Audio Mart, even for anybody in the US or something. Check out this site. It's really good. Great audiophile site. Talk about audio equipment. There's people on there selling records and stuff. I put, looking for a Beatles mono box, I put in the ads section. A gentleman who lives not far from me contacted me. Said he has one still in the box. He has two. He'd be willing to part with one. And I said, how much is it? And he sold it to me for $700. Now, $700, I'm going, oh man, I had to swallow hard to get it. And I went to my wife and just said, I got to have this. You know, you got to get the permission to blow $700. And my wife is, as always, is supportive, loving, and she knew how happy it would make me, and said, yeah, go get it. So I did, and I was lucky, man, because after that, it just started blowing up. Like now, like I said, for that same box I bought for $700, I'm looking over $2,000 now. So unbelievable. Anyway, let's get back to the records. Hard Day's Night. Again, just look at the detail in the cover. It's just beautiful. Again, the fold back covers. Again, the yellow Parlophone label. There's talk, everybody's wondering if they'll ever uh, redo this box so everyone can enjoy it. I genuinely hope they do. It would be awesome if everybody got a chance to get this again. I don't keep this because I could sell it for more money than I paid for it. This will be with me for the rest of my life. I'm not interested in selling it. I don't care what the price goes up to. And I hope you out there who are watching this video get a chance to own one. If you ask me my opinion, I don't think they'll redo it. I could see them now just doing it the way they're doing it with Revolver. They'll just give us an album with the box sets just to make it everyone drool over the sets. That's the only way they can charge $300 as far as I'm concerned. Help. Rubber Soul. I love this album cover. It's just so perfect. They look so cool on that cover. The one we're all talking about, Revolver. It says mono up in the corner. Again, I'm not going to take it out of the thing. The labels are all looking the same at this point. Then my favorite Beatles album, and I think the greatest album of all time, Sgt. Pepper. What a cover. What a cover that is. So when I was a kid, I grew up in the time when these albums came out and I was buying them. I bought all mono albums. So the monos are special to me. A lot of people just say, I don't like listening to the mono. I like listening to stereo. I grew up with the monos. I didn't have a Sgt. Pepper stereo album until probably bought one in, I'm going to say, mid-70s or something. This was my go-to from 67 to for at least 6-7 years after. Now they've hit the Capital Rainbow label because this was an album released in North America, not in the UK. The EP was in UK. And then finally, the White Album, numbered. Yes, folks. Just like the original releases, numbered. I've got 9012422. Of course, it comes with the poster and the great photos. I love the photos there. Boy, this used to hang on my wall. I'm telling you, all those pictures in that poster. And the album itself. The gatefold. Again, look at the fold back on this album cover. We'll check out one of the albums that's a top loader, which is interesting. The North American issue was not. On the Apple label. Interesting mixes on the White Album. You don't get, I got blisters on my fingers. That's not on the White, that's only on the stereo. I'm trying to think if I think that plane noise that you hear back in the USSR is different. There's a few different things on this album. It's a different listen. In this case, I prefer the stereo because I had the stereo when it started off. That's kind of the way I look at it, is if whatever I was used to when I was a kid hearing these albums, that's kind of what I prefer. Anyway, that's the set. Oh, I missed this. The Beatles Mono Masters. That's 3-album set of all the songs that did not make the original albums. And it sounds fantastic. I believe this one is more readily available in mono. You can find it, and I highly suggest you get it. There's the track listings. I'm going to just leave it up there so you can see. Anyway, I hope one day they reproduce this. It'd be great. And just to give you a look at it, if you hadn't seen it before and maybe you just want to drool over it one more time, I appreciate everyone who's been commenting and watching the Revolver video. Please do the same with this one. Please press the like button. Please subscribe. Everyone have a great day. Take care.